This is a puzzle box in the style of an 1800s vintage camera. As you can see, this thing is very complicated, and there's actually a secret to open it, and I'm going to be showing you how to do that right now. It says start right here, and there are these little markings basically telling you that you need to split these ball bearings into 6 halves. Carefully. Once there is 6 on each side, there's an indicator arrow here telling you to spin this. Once you've done that, this thing is dropped down. Once that's dropped down, this magnet can come out, and this tab can move to the right, and you can see all these little mini arrow designs. There's a mini path leading to this clock, and what we're gonna do is basically set this correct time so we can move this and hopefully do something with that. So first things first, we need to be able to move 1 arrow, so this thing here can go on and we can move 1 arrow. And to find the correct time, we're going to take this arrow design, which looks like a cloud. We're going to come to this side and we're going to look for that exact design. That would be right here. And the 1 Roman numeral that gets visible is the number 2. So we're going to imagine that this arrow is pointing to the number 2. Bottom half of this arrow would be pointing towards the number 8. So that's where the hour hand would be. This can now move and we unlock this. This key has a symbol on it, which will be important later, but we also have this eye. And we can actually look into this box now, and I'll show you how that is in a minute. This key has a symbol on it, and if we move this down, we can see that exact symbol through this window. So we can put this key into here. Once we've done that, this thing that couldn't move before can move now, and I'll show you what we're going to do with this. So we're going to solve this side now, and how we're going to do that is very simple. We're going to take one of these guys here, and we're going to basically take all of its facial features and place it on top of here onto all these dials. So this guy has this little top hat, so we're going to move this dial, this top hat here. He also has a mustache, so this dial here is going to be facing towards this mustache, and he also has this tie. So this dial here is going to go to the tie. Once we've done that, we can look into here, and you can use a flashlight if you need. I'll use one. I'll take this light here, shine it into here. If we look in there, we can see a money bag symbol. So, for this man here, we are going to rotate this gear until the money bag shows up. Once you've got all the sides done, you can see that this still can't move up, and we got all these other symbols here. So we're going to line them up. The money bag would equal the coin, the diamond would go to the diamond ring, gun target, the bomb explodes. Once you do that, this can now be removed. Once we've done that, we unlock this key, which will be important later. But what we also have unlocked is this little tab with an arrow that also has this gear on here. If you look back at the bar, you can see it has little cogwheels. If you push that tab in, we can see that this gear is moving clockwise. And if that gear is moving clockwise, the second gear would also be moving counterclockwise, so on and so forth. So this thing would have to be moving clockwise. So to do that, this moves and we get an on symbol, which now means you can turn the camera on. That has a path that leads to this camera symbol, and that camera symbol is over here. It can't come out, and there's like a little fiery arrow here, so the only way to actually get this key out is by putting force on it. And so we turn the camera on, put this key into here, and this little zoetrope now moves freely. That will be important later. Let's move on to the bottom side. We have unlocked this key, and there are these little instructions here that tell you to kind of hook this and then pull it out. If we do that with this little keyhole here, we can hook this and pull something out, and we can feel a latch that unlocks this. Everything comes out, and this can be removed. And we unlock all these little stick figures, and I'll show you what to do with these. We have this guy here who is standing right under a wavy line. And if we go to here, we can find that exact dude right here. And if we move it just a bit, you can see that his 1 foot is touching this zigzag line. So we're gonna take this guy and put him on the 1 foot on the zigzag line. Once you've got all the little dudes in the correct positions, this can now come out. So you might be wondering, well, what is unlocked? There's something under here. Well, it actually unlocks the solution to this thing, and I'll show you how that makes sense right now. So we unlocked this oval and this thing, and we can put them on top of each other to make a diagram, and then I'll show you what to do here. So here is a starting point, and we gotta replicate this exact diagram on here. The top part Once we have recreated this exact diagram, 2 of the ovals are X'd out, and that's what we need to select with these sliders. So this would be this one and this one. Once you do that, this tab can be pushed in, and this whole thing can come out. And we're not actually done yet. There's still something we need to do. We have this little thing here telling us to push these pegs and rotate this, push them in, and release this part. And in here is some actual camera film. And if we look at them, we get all these fingerprints, and they're all different. And they actually give us a hint here to look at them carefully, because the fingerprints actually match up with these here. This looks like a dot, this looks like a hill, this looks like a spiral, and this looks like a roller coaster. So we're going to turn this to the dot, and we're going to go clockwise to the hill symbol, and counterclockwise to the spiral, and clockwise to the roller coaster. And the box is open. That's the entire puzzle box.